deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Yeah, very good morning. You're listening to the Early Breakfast with Agent Flux, insurance for the individual. You can find out more at agentflux.co.uk. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. We've got a packed hour of sports news and talking points for you as we build up to talkSPORT Breakfast at 6 with Shabana Hearn and Gabby Abonlahor on the way over the next hour. Good morning, Nick Ellaby.
Hello, mate. Good morning. Yeah, we're going to bring you the fallout to Spurs losing on penalties to PSG in the Super Cup despite leading 2-0 with about 6 minutes to go. We keep saying we're back. I think we are back now. Continue the build-up to the return of the Premier League. That starts tomorrow night live on talkSPORT. And we've got all the latest transfer news looking more likely. Mark Gay will stay at Crystal Palace instead of going to Liverpool. And we'll bring you the best of the front and back pages as well on this Thursday morning.
What was your dessert choice there? You mentioned in the headlines very briefly.
Apple pie and custard. I'll tell you what I really love as well, sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And also, were you encouraging rain there? Are you one of those people that moans in the winter and then it becomes really, really hot and then you spend all summer moaning at the heat?
I know. I don't think I moan. I like the heat. I've lived in the tropics. I do like a bit of heat, but you know what? We need the rain.
We do?
We're actually I read this week that there's a broccoli shortage because of...
Is that right?
Yeah, because there's not enough rain. There's not enough water.
Right. So we need a little bit more rain then to ensure that broccolis are good to go and we can have broccolis with our dinner.
I love broccoli. It's so good for you as well.
There we go. That's a hot take at 5:04 this morning from Nick Ellaby. He loves broccoli. More hot takes to come on the Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux, insurance for the individual. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. It is 5:04 Thursday, August the 14th. Let's take a look then at some of today's back pages, pretty much dominated by that Super Cup game last night. Spurs 2 up with 5 minutes to go. It finished 2-2. PSG winning on penalties. Back at the Mail, Spurs shocker shootout agony for Tottenham after they blow 2-goal lead. Also on the back of the Mail today, United are in no man's land, blast Rashford. This is after years of chopping and changing in the striker claims. The transition under Ruben Amorim has not started yet. Those two stories on the back of the Mail. Welcome to Spursies, the headline on the back of the Star. Back at the Mirror, sheer agony for Spurs. They lose 2-goal lead and penalty shootout. A couple of transfer stories on the back of the Mirror. DCL's okay to Leeds. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is set to spearhead Leeds United strike force on the return to the Premier League. And also Toon grab Ramsey and Visser. Finally, some good news for Newcastle when it comes to transfers. Newcastle on the verge of a double transfer breakthrough with Aston Villa midfielder Jacob Ramsey and Brentford striker Johan Visser set to sign before the big kickoff. Telegraph Sport, Spurs shocker, Tottenham blow 2-goal lead, then suffer spot kick agony. Also on the Telegraph Sport, City hold talks over signing Donnarumma. He's trying to find a new club, isn't he? I think he was replaced and frozen out by Paris Saint-Germain. Donnarumma omitted from the squad for last night's Super Cup game against Tottenham, with head coach Luis Enrique saying it was his decision to drop him completely. I wonder, after Spurs' second goal, which the new PSG goalkeeper very much should have saved, should have been an easy save. Maybe Luis Enrique is already regretting the decision to want to move on from Donnarumma. Again, the Rashford quotes on the back of the Times. Marcus Rashford has underlined his ambition to remain at Barcelona beyond the end of his loan period, describing the club as having the perfect environment to be successful. And again, those quotes about United being in no man's land are also referenced in the piece. And what else have we got for you? Nick mentioned it at the top of the show, but a transfer story on the back of the Sun. Mark Gahey looks set to stay at Crystal Palace this summer, despite Liverpool opening talks over a £35 million deal. The Sun understands the Eagles will not consider a bid of £45 million, even though he can walk away for free in 12 months when his contract expires. And the defender is also wary over game time at Liverpool this season ahead of the 2026 World Cup, which is, of course, next summer. Now, I thought I'd read out a dictionary definition of Spursy. A Spursy performance is to have success in reach, but ultimately chuck it away. That's from thecollinsdictionary.com. Spurs are back. Spursy are back. They were in the Super Cup final last night, and it was live on talkSPORT.
Spurs embark on the quest for more European glory. Plays it to Richarlison, edge of the area, good save, Chevalier.
I think the players gave everything, playing against one of the best teams in the world.
It's been a decent start from Spurs. I like the way they're mixing their game up.
So Romero's at the far post. It's all about what happens now. Chevalier flicks it onto the far, only for it to come down inside the 6-yard box from Mickey van der Ven.
75, 80 minutes, perfect.
Romero peeling away towards the back post. Great run from him, and his header is in through Chevalier. It's 2.
Dream start for Spurs at the start of the second period.
Spurs are back to being Spurs. Can't remember the last touch of the ball that Spurs had to find a teammate in PSG's half of the pitch.
It's a while ago, you're right.
Lee, and he's pulled one back.
To come away by drawing against them is an absolute shambles.
Around the corner for Dembele, thrashes across in for Ramos, who's headed it in for 2-2.
Wow.
We are a very, very, very bad side.
Everything I had lined up is just, I don't know what to say now. I'm just absolutely fuming.
You're just Spurs!
Nuno Mendes trusted with completing the job. Can Vicario make the save? No, he can't. PSG have won it. Tottenham Hotspur heartbreak.
Tottenham deserve much more. Maybe it was unfair.
So Spurs went 2 up early in the second half. The centre-backs got their goals. Van der Ven and then Romero scored either side at half-time. Could Spurs hold on? Well, for 85 minutes, they looked pretty comfortable. And I think it's fair to say good for their lead. PSG got one back, and I think you know the rest. In the 4th minute of injury time, Dembele found some space down the right-hand side, whipped in a beautiful cross onto the head of Gonzalo Ramos, who made no mistake. Then in the shootout, Spurs went ahead, but Van der Ven had his penalty save. Then it was Tell who put one wide to leave Nuno Mendes to slam home the winning spot kick. talkSPORT's Andy Townsend on co-commentary duty says Spurs gave it a pretty good crack, but ultimately lost to a PSG team with too much quality.
Listen, football at the highest level, football against the very best players. That's what can happen. And Spurs have learned a big lesson tonight ahead of a Champions League campaign this season, that when they do have the advantage, when they are in front, when they are in pole position, they've got to make sure they see it out. They've got to make sure they get over the line. Yeah, some of their football was a bit scruffy the last 20 minutes. I think they thought they could do it. I think they felt that they, by getting back behind the ball, by getting close, they could deny it. Well, they didn't get close enough to lead with the strike from the edge of the box. And the equalising goal was an absolute peach. It was a belting goal. It really was top-class football. And credit to PSG, never gave it up. Not for a split second did they think, oh well, we've only been back 6 days, we're out of this, that's us, we'll forget about this and we'll move on. Not a chance, because that's the best players don't do that. And they kept going and kept believing. And I suppose when it went to penalties, I fancied them. And then Vitinha misses and you think, well, it might be Spurs' night after all. Look, it's not to be. I enjoyed a lot of the Tottenham performance tonight, but they got scored a little bit in the end by a proper team who just refused to give it up.
Let's now hear then, shall we, from the new Spurs manager, Thomas Frank, taking charge of his first competitive game.
Sometimes football is the smallest of margins. They kept pushing, made some subs that put us under pressure at times, but it's a shot from the edge of the box. That's basically their first goal. Where besides that, before that, we didn't concede really any big chances. I think it was one save from Vic where he needed to save it, and then the momentum and the momentum built it. But again, then they score. Of course, they have some crosses, some situations, and you need to dig deep. But it's basically the next chance. It's not like they have 3 big chances before the goal is scored. So small margins.
Well, of course, following the Spurs game last night was the sports bar. Jason Cundy was ready to go. Jamie O'Hara back from his holidays, back in the hot seat. And well, as you could imagine, Mr. Cundy was absolutely chomping at the bit to get stuck into O'Hara on the sports bar after the game.
This is the real Spurs. This is what we want to see. Not winning the worst Europa League final ever against a dog Man United. You're up against big dogs. They were back 6 days. 6 days. You got rolled over by a team that are half fit. Jay, snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Everything that I wanted to say, everything I had lined up is just, I don't know what to say now. I'm absolutely fuming.
You're just Spurs. I've been telling you that for years.
Do me a favour.
It's who you are, mate.
Come on, loads of positives.
No, what positives? There's nothing.
It's who we are, mate.
That is an absolute shambles. It's a shambles, mate. Against the PSG side, they've been back 6 days. They've been back training less time than you've been away on holiday. You've been away longer than they've been back.
I've been in Mykonos for a week. Longer than PSG. Been in Mykonos longer than PSG. They've come back and won the Super Cup final. I've come back a stone overweight.
Tina could have been in the same hotel as you, and he's just won the Super Cup.
We're back, aren't we? We're so back, aren't we? When O'Hara and Cundy are going in like that, the football, proper football, is absolutely well and truly back. At least O'Hara's taking it with a smile. I think it's one of those, isn't it? When you win it, you want to big it up a little bit more and sort of make out as if, another European trophy. If you lose it, you try and brush it off. I actually did think, I know Spurs did collapse there at the end. I actually thought for 85 minutes they played pretty well. I mean, it was strange, wasn't it? Watching a different Tottenham team. I mean, of course, been so used for 6, 7, 8 months of watching handball, this ridiculous, entertaining, end-to-end football, highline, all that. I mean, on the second minute, they had a free kick, Spurs, in the halfway line and just launched it long into the box. And from then, their game plan was pretty simple. Sit deep, try and play on the counter, use set pieces. And for 85 minutes, it worked. But hey, PSG in the end coming out on top. Lots of callers into the sports bar, including Matt, the Spurs fan.
Bad side. We've finished 17th for a reason, because that 11 isn't good enough. Now, Cundy's coming out and saying we're an embarrassment. We're an embarrassment for finishing 17th under this ownership, because we haven't got individuals. It's as simple as that. We haven't got the individuals.
Okay, but you can't go. But Matt, last season's last season. We won the Europa League. We sacked the manager.
What's the difference?
We got a new manager.
Mate, what is Thomas Frank going to do with a goalkeeper that can't punch a ball? What is the matter with you? You've got Solanke that can't score a goal under Ange. You think he's going to score a goal under Frank? What is the matter with you?
Were you telling me for 70 minutes tonight we were good?
17 minutes. Listen, let me tell you something. And Spurs fans are listening to this. They were cussing Antonio Conte because his football wasn't great. And tonight, do you think Tottenham played well?
I thought, well, I mean, again, a different style of approach. But, I thought for 85 minutes, they did as well as they could have done against PSG. But, yeah, Matt loved it, doesn't he? He's always, that voice sounds very, very familiar to me. Spurs fans, do you agree with Matt, the caller, or is there some cause for optimism that, you took PSG deep and were leading for much of that game. If you want to get involved this morning, the number's 03717 223344, or get involved in the text on 81089. Let's hear from Harry Redknapp. He thinks Spurs, this is how he thinks Spurs will get on in the Premier League next season.
I think Tottenham will have a decent season this year in the league, but they can't do any worse than they did last year. Can they? Well, they can if they get relegated, but that's not going to happen. I could see them. I've got a feeling they'll be sort of top 7 this year.
Well, Spurs' first game in the Premier League is Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. They're at home to Burnley. talkSPORT Game Day Live with Adrian Durham on Saturday afternoon. We'll be taking you around the grounds from 3 o'clock. And before that, at 12:30, the talkSPORT exclusive commentary is Aston Villa versus Newcastle. And that very first game of the Premier League season, Liverpool versus Bournemouth on Friday evening, is an 8 o'clock kickoff. And that is also live on talkSPORT. It is 5:16. You're listening to The Early Breakfast. And coming up next, we'll take a look at today's back pages. Yeah, very good morning. This is the Early Sports Breakfast with Adrian Flux. Get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux Insurance for the individual. Happy Thursday morning. It's 5:19. I'm Sam Ellard with you until 6 o'clock this morning. Then it's breakfast with Shabana Hearn and Gabby Agbon-Lahore, taking you through until 10. Don't forget you can listen to all of our stations on the talkSPORT app. If you want some music, Virgin Radio is there. There's even a Virgin Radio Britpop station on the app there. Happy days. Or for news, you can find Talk and Times Radio. Just swipe between our stations. Here are some of your headlines this Thursday morning. Tottenham manager Thomas Frank says he'll focus on the positives from his first competitive match in charge. Despite a loss to Champions League holders PSG in the Super Cup, Frank praised the side's intensity, insisting there's plenty to be proud of.
Sometimes football is the smallest of margins. They kept pushing, and then the momentum and the momentum built it. And you need to dig deep, but it's basically the next chance. It's not like they have 3 big chances before the goal is scored. So small margins.
Yeah, Spurs leading 2-0 but losing on penalties. Meanwhile, Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters insists there's no plans to play a match abroad. Italy and Spain hope to stage league fixtures in Australia and the United States if they gain permission from FIFA and UEFA. Other one-off matches, such as the Italian Super Cup and Spanish Super Cup, have been held abroad in recent years. Masters says it won't happen in England's top flight.
It hasn't changed our view about matches abroad. We did look at the 39th game way back when, with lots of controversy. I recall that very clearly. And our objective at the time, when thinking about it, was to help grow the Premier League around the world. And we've been able to do that through different means.
And troubled Sheffield Wednesday earned themselves the Carabao Cup second round tasty clash with Leeds after getting past Bolton on penalties. It finished 3-3 after 90 minutes. Meanwhile, Birmingham progressed with a 2-1 victory over Sheffield United. Leicester, though, lost at League One Huddersfield 3-2 on penalties. The game finished 2-2. Here's their manager, Marty Cifuentes.
Yeah, definitely. The feeling is disappointment because we came here to try to go through and we didn't manage. So for me, it was not about a test or rotation or whatever. It was about going through. And I'm not happy with the performance. I think that Huddersfield, because of the way the game it was, did a really good job. Congratulations to them because they really show a lot of energy, a lot of desire, and we spoke about it that on those games, usually when you play against a team that is one division below you, this mental edge, because it's nothing to lose for them, you need to cope with that. You need to be ready for that kind of energy, and unfortunately, I felt that the start of the game was not at the level that we expected. So we miss a little bit of energy on the way we move the ball. We need to improve our positioning, to be more aggressive, to attack more the last line. And in the second half, we tried to adjust some things. I think that we got some good moments. I wouldn't say momentum, but better periods. And yeah, perhaps to concede the goal, the first goal, and then after take the lead again, concede the second goal, we should have gone better with that.
Barnsley and Cheltenham also made it through last night to the second round. The tie of the next round, we'll see 6-1 winners Manchester United. They're going to go to Grimsby Town. Happy days. Mansfield will take on Everton at their new stadium on Bramley Moor Talk. Those are the two standout ties of the second round of the Carabao Cup. At 5:23, Nick Ellard is back in the studio for some back page stories. Nick,
morning, mate.
How are you?
Oh, mate, I'm good to see Gustavo Hamer's.
Yes, I did see that. I did, yeah, strike. Unbelievable. I always sometimes think when I'm watching games of football, given how good footballers are now and how often goalkeepers are stood off their line, I actually think it's something that we should see more of. We should see footballers, if they find a little bit of space in midfield.
You might be right.
Or the ball just falls to them.
The keepers are always
just take the shot on.
Out their area. It's quite a flat, flat
I'm not saying it's a hard one to score, but I think it's well worth giving it a go.
My favourite one of those is that Seedorf for Real Madrid, and he just hits it from about 45 yards from the right hand side.
Yeah,
it doesn't get much higher than the goal. It's like the thighs on that man.
Xavi Alonso, when he came to Liverpool in his first season, scored one against Newcastle, and that, you were right, it was super flat. Unbelievable. So yeah, what a goal last night. Yeah, you don't deserve to score that goal and not win, do you?
Talking about big lads, quite enjoyed this from Gregor Robertson.
Biggest of big lads, right?
In the Times, meet Big Lads United. Leeds gamble on a team of giants. I mean, we're all wondering this season, can any of the promoted teams stay up? Burnley, Sunderland or Leeds? And Leeds that look like they're going for a kind of a massive team to try and muscle their way into 17th place. Gregor Robertson writing here in the Times, Daniel Farke's side clinched the championship title, playing a dominant, expansive, free-scoring brand of football. Yeah, their summer's been characterised by the arrival of one 6-foot-plus 26-year-old after another, and the remodelling of their squad to make Leeds one of the most physical teams in the Premier League. Do you think they can do something? Can they stay up?
I think Leeds and Burnley go down. I think Sunderland have maybe given themselves the best chance of staying up. But yeah, like, in terms of this approach, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good approach. I mean, set pieces are clearly going to be really important for Leeds. We saw even just last night Spurs use set pieces to their advantage, almost going for that big physical, strong team and trying to score from set pieces. Obviously, as well, helps defensively. I think is a decent option. I'd maybe say, looking at the Leeds team, I maybe think they're maybe lacking a touch of quality. If I had to have a guess, I do think Leeds and Burnley go back down.
Can Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Can he change that? Do you think he can move the needle there? He's over 6 foot as well. He's so they've got these. Go on.
It's tough on Dominic Calvert-Lewin because based on the last couple of years, you obviously have to say no because he hasn't been able to keep himself fit, which is the biggest problem, right? And then when he does get himself fit again, he always looks like a guy that's trying to chase form and has just got himself back from a long injury. But if they can somehow keep him fit and go back to sort of 3 or 4 years ago, a fit Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a decent striker, and he had a sort of a really good year to 18 months at Everton, was making England squads.
Under Ancelotti, though.
Sure.
Was saying, like, Ancelotti basically told him, forget the, wider of the area. You stay in front of the penalty box.
And just score goals.
And you're getting on the end of crosses. And then he had that one great season where he looked like he was getting into the England squad.
Yeah, well, I think at the one point he was Harry Kane's backup. I hope he can stay fit because he deserves a little bit of luck. And then if he can stay fit, fingers crossed, Nicky can find himself back among the goals.
You mentioned Sunderland. Their transfer window's interesting, right? Abib Diarra from Strasbourg, Simon Adingra, Premier League proven in from Brighton, Granit Xhaka.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to see him back in the Premier League. Mark Guiu, they've picked up from Chelsea. Bit of talent there. Enzo Lefebvre as well, Premier League experience. Regis Lebree's done great. They've given him another 3 years to sort of say,
you're our man, we'll back you.
You're our man, let's go for it. And that city is, like, you've seen the documentary. I mean, that's my favourite football documentary, is the Sunderland one. And if they can do something, if they're there and thereabouts at the end for survival, I think that should be a fantastic.
Well, I think it's fair to say they're certainly giving themselves a pretty good chance, aren't they, of giving it a go crack with all those new players coming in. Nick, what else is making the back pages today?
Well, looks like ref cams are going to be launched this weekend. So I don't know if you saw that in the Club World Cup, those ref cam footages. That's going to be happening in the Premier League from this weekend. Ref cams will be used from tomorrow when Liverpool take on Bournemouth at Anfield. That will be live on talkSPORT as well tomorrow evening, and after their successful launch at the Club World Cup and the Premier League Summer Series in the United States. I find it a bit unwatchable. Like, you can't just watch the game or watch passages of play like that. But it's quite interesting to see the ref's perspective.
Yeah, and the refs will obviously get pretty close to the action, won't they? So I think, I'm watching bits of the 100 at the moment in the world of cricket, and often batsmen will have a camera in their helmets. And I think it's pretty cool and pretty different to be able to literally, and they'll sometimes show you a ball live from the batsman's perspective. And I think it's quite cool to be able to literally see what a batsman is seeing. So I think for the referees, who obviously will be literally at times on top of the action, I mean, I'm not against it.
The thing with that cricket helmet cam and also this ref cam, like, sometimes when we watch sport, we think, I could have scored that, or I could have got in there. We all like to think that, right? But when you see it from the ground, you realise how these footballers, how quick, how strong they are. And it's just like you just say, okay, there's no way.
When I'm watching it, the cricket from the batsman's point of view, I can't see the ball ever. No. So I'm like, how on earth do you see the ball and then make a decision in the very quick time?
But there is less information on the camera than you're getting. Obviously, if you had your eyes out there, I mean, I don't know what your eyes are like. You're not too old, are you?
I think my mince pies are all right. Well, maybe
exactly.
Not. Maybe having watched back cam on the 100, I need to go and get my eyes checked out, Nick.
On this ref cam, it says details still to be worked out, but they reckon Sky and TNT will have access to it, and it will also be available to VARs as well.
Okay.
So they'll be able to have a look at that.
Okay, good stuff. I like it. Something different.
And just finally,
go on, one more, Nick.
Quick Ryder Cup story. Rory McIlroy apparently was asked about being a player captain in the future, but basically he's just sort of turned it down. He said, look, the idea of being a playing Ryder Cup captain has come too soon for him, but he doesn't actually think you can do it. He reckons 20 years ago it might be possible, but because the Ryder Cup is such a spectacle and there's so much hype around it, like, he doesn't think it's at all possible. But in future, once he retires, he'll be a great captain. We got Keegan Bradley, the US captain, this September. he's playing so well. He's actually put himself into contention for the squad where he thought he'd just be the captain. But now he's that good. Like, they think we might as well play him, but it's going to be tricky to do both jobs.
Yeah, I feel that when you're the captain, you've probably got to be across so much different stuff throughout the course of the couple of days.
You want to be on a
checking
buggy.
in. Yeah, checking on the players, working out pairings for the next day. So if anyone could do it, Rory. And also, by the way, we just want Rory to play and play and play, don't we?
Just play.
For many more years.
Keep playing. Win some more majors.
There we go. Good stuff. Nick, thank you very much. It is 5:30 on the Early Sports Breakfast, building up the talkSPORT Breakfast at 6 with Shaban and Gabby.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were absolutely sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money, but instead of entering league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. Think of it like the Harlem Globetrotters of football, and it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil, and the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest clubs in Brazil.
Yeah, very good morning. I'm Sam Ellard with you until 6 o'clock this morning on the Early Sports Breakfast. We're with Adrian Flux, the cover you need at a price you'll love, with what Van's Insurer of the Year 2021. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Don't forget you can watch this show and all talkSPORT shows on your smart TVs and on YouTube. It's Shaban and Gabby from 6 o'clock on The Breakfast Show. And this morning we're digesting that Spursy collapse in the UEFA Super Cup final.
Nuno Mendes is the PSG player that's trusted with completing the job. Can Vicario make the save? No, he can't. PSG have won it. Spurs 5 minutes away in the Super Cup with a 2-0 lead. But it's the European champions that have got over the line. Tottenham Hotspur heartbreak. Conceded 2 late goals and then, having led in the shootout, can't see the job through. It'll feel as though they've lost this twice.
They were 2 up, 85 minutes on the clock. They were flying. PSG scored 2 late goals and go on and win on penalties. After the game, new Spurs signing, the midfielder João Palhinha, says he was annoyed that Spurs didn't get over the line.
I think the younger from all the players to achieve this title. I think everyone gave all the maximum on this game, and I think we show what we are capable for. We played against a top team, and I think, as I said, we have everything: a top coach, a top players in this squad, a top crowd as well, with a lot of hunger to achieve titles. And me and my teammates we will fight for that for sure. But yeah, it's a tough day today, a tough night. But I know that we will achieve good things on the future. We just need to keep head up.
Our next live football commentary is Friday night. The Premier League is back. Liverpool-Bournemouth live on talkSPORT. Some other sporting headlines you're waking up to this Thursday morning. 45-year-old Venus Williams set to become the oldest player to feature at a tennis Grand Slam for 44 years. The 7-time major champ has been given a wild card for the US Open later this month. Meanwhile, the penultimate event of the PGA Tour FedEx Cup playoff season begins this afternoon. Rory McIlroy paired alongside the world number 1 Scotty Scheffler for the opening 2 rounds, have both already guaranteed their place in the Tour Championship next week. England's Justin Rose looks to make it back-to-back tournament victories. He plays alongside the defending champion US Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley. We've got coverage of the championship live on talkSPORT 2. That starts tonight from 6 p.m. And Graham Clark scored a 6 off the final ball as the Northern Superchargers got a dramatic 3-wicket victory over the Southern Brave in the 100. Meanwhile, yesterday it was back-to-back games. The Welsh Fire got their first win of the competition by ending the Manchester Originals' unbeaten start. The Trent Rockets can move to the top of the table with victory against the London Spirit this evening. Trent Rockets, the only team who have a 100% win record. Meanwhile, Joe Root, who plays for the Trent Rockets, says he won't rise to the Ashes jibes from David Warner. He's playing in the London Spirit. The former Aussie opener has started the Ashes needle early by calling one of England's greatest ever batters a prime LBW candidate. He averages over 50 in Test match. How can you be a prime LBW candidate and average over 50 in Test match cricket? Well, we've got an interview with Ollie Pope, England Ollie Pope, coming up on Breakfast on 7, and we asked him about Glenn McGrath's prediction there will be 5-0 to Australia this winter in the Ashes.
Oh no, I think he comes out with that every year. I think so. Yeah, I think that's probably one of our challenges. Is we know we're going to have to deal with a lot of stuff when we get out there. It's a series like no other for us, with the kind of attention from their media as soon as the plane lands, and it feels like this one will be heightened. I've done one, but it was the COVID one where you're kind of a bit isolated from everything. So that's for us to kind of deal with individuals, how they deal with that side of things, but then also as a team and how we want to go about it and how we want to kind of show our presence in the media and that kind of thing. So yeah, for us, I think we're a team now that we've been together for a good while, since Brendan and Ben Stokes have taken over, we played a lot of cricket together against a lot of different teams. So I think for us, it's just kind of keeping the focus on what we're good at. And yeah, like I said, what we can take from this series against India, what we can learn from too.
More from Ollie Pope on talkSPORT Breakfast at 7 o'clock. Meanwhile, on Drive yesterday, they were joined by the LAFC general manager, John Thorrington. Of course, has been a busy summer over in America with Son Heung-min making his debut over the last couple of days. He, of course, joined a record-breaking MLS transfer after 10 years at Spurs. So John Thorrington was on Drive yesterday. He was asked to clear up the Son's comment about LAFC not being his first choice for a move.
I think for Sonny, MLS was not on his radar. And I think what it took was a conversation that we had where it was just an open and genuine conversation that, I'd asked for, just a chance to present what our club is, what this league is, what this city is, and hear more from him about what he was looking to do next. And I think after that conversation, I sensed there was alignment there, and obviously he had no shortage of options. So I was just grateful for the chance to, not sell snake oil, but just to genuinely present who we are and why I saw this and we saw this as a great opportunity for him as well as for us. And thankfully that landed softly with Sonny, and here we are.
And at 5:42, it's now time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Take it away, Nick Ellaby.
Hello again, mate.
Hello, mate.
Throwdown is the right word for this.
Always.
Listen, get this. The Fight House. Trump to host UFC brawls on the White House lawn. This is on the front page of the Daily Star today. Bonkers man baby Donald Trump, this is their words, not mine.
Sure.
Will host UFC fighting bouts on the lawns of the White House to celebrate 250 years of America. So, cage fights on the South Lawn. Apparently, the Ultimate Fighting Championships will take place because of America's 250th birthday as part of Washington, D.C.'s 4th of July celebrations. Social media users quick to pick up their ideal matchups, including billionaires Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, others demanding Trump face Barack Obama in the octagon.
Who'd you fancy?
In that one, definitely Barack Obama.
Zuckerberg, Musk.
Have you seen Zuckerberg's hench these days?
Is he big?
Have you not seen him?
No.
He's obviously got some. He's doing jiu-jitsu. He's got some personal trainer.
I'm going Zuckerberg then immediately.
If you just look at his face, he's
yeah.
Like, I'll take him out. But then scan down, he's massive.
So from shoulders down, we're going Zuckerberg over Musk. I mean, you could imagine Trump being all over this, couldn't you? I mean, you could imagine.
He loves the show.
Oh, goodness me. He'd be in his absolute element, wouldn't he?
It's just a big TV show for him. Everything for him is about how does it look on TV.
I also love, though, I mean, I'm guessing being the US president, you've got lots of things to get through in the course of a day. But I still love the fact, though, that he's got time to possibly plan and sort this out.
He's got time to play golf. He's got time to eat McDonald's and drink Coke. He's delegating a lot of his work.
He's trying to manage his workload, right? He's trying to maybe needs to delegate more.
Listen, let's not get into that. But I maybe think, what could we do here? Maybe Crown Green Bowls, Downing Street.
Oh no, we need something a bit more lively than that, don't we?
100 metres on the Mall.
What about like a 100 metre
boxing at Buckingham Palace?
Okay, there we go. Maybe, but yeah. that sounds a bit more sexy, doesn't
Moses Atauma, right?
Okay. You like him, don't you, Mr. Atauma?
Yeah, he's great. He looks good. Well, let's say he gets past Dillian White.
Sure.
Live on talkSPORT on Saturday.
Good
night,
plug.
Right. Moses Atauma.
Yeah.
World title fight against
Yeah.
Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
Outside Buckingham Palace.
Outside, but it'd be a bit. We'd have to be very careful of sort of what time of year we did this, right?
Yeah, we're probably
if it's not July or August, it's going to be absolutely freezing, is it? Boxing at Buckingham. I like it. There we go. Live on talkSPORT. Let's do it. Let's get the rights.
On the subject of the temperatures, storms are returning. Thunderstorms and downpours battered parts of Britain last night, bringing an end to the blistering heat wave. But temperatures are expected to pick up. Friday, mostly fine, hot and sunny in the south. Temperatures could reach 31 degrees. Scotland will see highs in the low 20s. And before we go...
Sorry, is this the fun bits or is this the weather update? What's going on?
People like weather, don't they?
I don't know. Isn't the weather supposed to be for the bulletin?
All right, here we go. I've got something fun for you. When you go on holiday, do you get an extra bag for the hold, or do you just ram everything into a small flight case?
Well, I don't want to get too technical, but I guess it depends what holiday. Like I went on a stag do a few weeks ago, and that was just everything in a backpack. like my school bag basically there. But obviously, if you're doing a bigger holiday, you're going away for a week or 2 weeks, and obviously you need a suitcase and then something to take on the flight with you.
I always just try and pack to the minimum. Brits, it says here, Brits are going to comical lengths to maximise their holiday wardrobe, including donning multiple layers of clothing for the flight. Study reveals 72% of people have turned up at check-in with overweight, oversized items, so many are looking for creative solutions. 54% of people say they worn extra outfits. I mean, I've done that.
54%?
Yeah, because people are getting on the plane with
3 jackets on.
Jumpers and 3 coats.
There is nothing worse though than when you're all looking forward to your holiday, you get to the airport and you're over. Have you got one of those weighing things?
No.
Where you can put like a scale, attach a scale to your suitcase and lift it in the air and see if it's overweight or not. Because there is nothing worse, is it, when you got to take stuff out your suitcase and put it in someone else's suitcase? It's just a panic that you don't need it in an airport, do you?
Last holiday I went on, I just had the small bag, the on-board one. My wife had the extra one. She was asking to put stuff in my little bag. Where do we go? We went to south of France.
Okay, but a short trip, I'm guessing. You managed to get all that? A week's worth of holiday in basically 2 backpacks?
2 vests, 7 pairs of pants. We're in.
How many pairs of shoes did you bring with you? You must have just bought one, the pair that you're wearing. 2
pairs of shoes.
No. How big is this bag then that you're taking onto the flight?
You can get it. You can get it in the on-flight one. It's just as long as it fits under the.
Yeah, then it's fine. You're good to go.
As long as you got to roll things up.
Yeah. All right, good effort. That's pretty good going, to be fair. Yeah, it's all about the rolling, isn't it?
And it's hot. You don't need that many.
Do you roll or fold when you? So yeah, not folding.
No, the best space economy. Roll your clothes up.
So roll, not fold. So if you're on your way to the airport and you're worrying, Nick Ellard says roll, not fold.
If you take anything away from this early breakfast, it's roll, not fold.
There we go. That's what we're doing. Nick Ellard, good stuff as always. It is 5:47 on the Early Sports Breakfast Show. More reaction, more fallout to the game last night coming up shortly. Then at 6 o'clock this morning, it is talkSPORT Breakfast with Shabana Hearn and Gabby Abunlo. Yeah, very good morning. This is the Early Sports Breakfast with you for another 10 minutes until 6 o'clock. Then it's talkSPORT Breakfast with Shabana Hearn and Gabby Abonahall. The Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT is with our good friends at Adrian Flux. Let's bring you some of the latest in the world of transfers. We understand Mark Gahey remains content to see out the final year of his Palace contract and leave on a free next summer. Liverpool have held talks with Palace over a potential move for Gahey to provide extra competition for Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. Palace valuing Gahey in excess of £40 million. And the England defender wanting regular minutes ahead of next summer's World Cup is not a guarantee that he leaves this summer on drive. Darren Bent told Andy Goldstein Gahey improves any side in the Premier League.
I think he's England's best defender.
He's England's best, is he?
I think so.
Number one.
Yeah,
Right.
The pairing I'd have would be John Stones and him. I think John Stones is a wonderful footballer. We know how good he can be. But Gahey, I just think he's got everything. I thought he was our best player in the... Was it the Euros we got to? Yeah, I thought the Euros he was brilliant. Strong, powerful, could play with the ball. He looks like a real leader as well. Looks like a good... I don't know him personally, but he looks like a really good character as well. I think he's top draw. I genuinely do. And I'm shocked, to be fair, at that price. Like the amount of teams that are looking for centre-halves, your lot could do with him, centre-half. I think he's good enough to play for Manchester City. I know they've got Ruben Diaz and Stones, but he's good enough to mix it with them boys.
Yeah.
I think he's good enough to go to Liverpool are after him. He's good enough to play at Arsenal again. I would have Gabriel and Saliba as a pair ahead of him, but there's no reason why he couldn't mix it with them two as well.
Liverpool are set, though, to add their fifth major first-team signing in the shape of Parma Giovanni Leone. The centre-back is going to be a £26 million fee and could be made official in the next 24 hours. So maybe not Mark Gahey to Liverpool, but Giovanni Leone will be joining. His arrival would take Liverpool spending past the £290 million mark. Danny Murphy was back on White and John yesterday and told the boys there was no choice but for Liverpool to refresh the squad this summer.
Well, Trent obviously left, so you had to replace him. Diaz wouldn't sign a new deal, so they were looking to bring in someone to have to replace him. The unfortunate passing of Diogo Jota, some of it was necessary. I don't think it was a case of we've got to clear the decks, get fresh players in. It was needs must. Obviously not all of them, but a lot of them you have to bring in numbers. So they've lost 3, gone out 4, and they've only actually brought in 2 in the attacking areas. So they probably need another one, whoever that is. But it's good business. I think the 2 front players look really good. And I think they need another centre-half as well. That's a good one with Gahey. I think he's a terrific player.
Danny Murphy is sitting down with Arnie Slot for an exclusive talkSPORT interview later. That will be played out on breakfast tomorrow morning ahead of Liverpool's first game against Bournemouth Friday night live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, in the world of transfers, PSG manager Luis Enrique says he's 100% responsible for Donnarumma's impending departure. He's being linked with plenty of Premier League sides after appearing to confirm his exit just months on from winning a treble in Paris. We understand Man City could bid for Donnarumma if Edison gets a move to Galatasaray. Here's French football expert Julien Laurent. We'll hear from Julien.
There was no agreement on an extension and a new deal, then there was no point for them to keeping him and losing him on a free in a year time. So already at the start of the season, they were thinking about a new goalkeeper in the summer, and somebody like Luis Enrique explained yesterday in the press conference with a different profile, and Chevalier is different to Donnarumma. Donnarumma, the best player on his line in the world, there's no doubt, but he's a goalkeeper that doesn't come out on crosses and that can't really play with the ball at his feet. Distribution is not his forte. So we'll keep that in mind for when we talk about the City links, because for me, it doesn't make any sense why would Pep Guardiola sign Gigi Donnarumma just for those reasons. But for PSG, Chevalier was there available. He's younger. Yes, he doesn't have the same experience or hasn't won nowhere near as much as Donnarumma, but he brings something slightly different that Luis Enrique wanted, really, and that Donnarumma could not offer. I think if they had found an agreement, he would have stayed. But he also wanted a lot of money on a contract that is not really the kind of contract that the club is giving anymore.
More transfer stories throughout the day as and when it comes and develops. Now, though, competition time. The NFL returns to Wembley in October as the Los Angeles Rams take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and our competition to win VIP tickets is now open. That's right, we're giving you the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium with full hospitality plus $5,000 spending money. Here's how to enter: 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland, for a chance to win. Text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 25th of August at 11 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. The talkSPORT Breakfast Show is coming up. It is Shabana Hearn and Gabby Bonlahor from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock, bringing you all the fallout and reaction to the Super Cup last night. Spurs leading 2-0 late on, ended up being pegged back and losing on penalties. The former Spurs striker Mido joins the show. Majestic. We'll also discuss the Spursy collapse. Former Leeds striker Ross McCormack will be on the show. Leeds, of course, back in the Premier League, starting on Monday night against Everton. And ahead of the big fight this weekend, Diddy White's trainer, Buddy McGirt, is going to be on the show. And talkSPORT MMA writer George Linsky also on the breakfast show from 6 o'clock. You've been listening to The Early Breakfast with Adrian Flux, insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Shabana Hearn and Gabby Bonlahor are next.